like me, you get confused, turn reloading where you left off, what process you're doing, things of that nature. Some of you know what I'm talking about. Going along, it's like, where did I leave off? And then you've got to inspect till you find where you're at. Um, or, what did I do last? Yeah, I got to inspect to find out what you did last, where you left off, even. So found a way to kind of help with this. Um, Minor modification to my reloading trays. It works. It's basically for necked cartridges, small caliber. Um, I don't need this for 300 blackout or 9 millimeter, but I need it for 223. And well, case in point here. Like if you flip them over, see, you can tell where you left off. They flop around. Not optimal. So what I did was I took a 1/4 inch bit, and since I'm using Forstner bits and there's a little pilot hole in there, I can use that to pretty much center things up. Drill a little bit in there, just fit the neck in. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. I mean, that fell out. That fell out first. Huge difference. Now, since I'm using 1/2 inch plywood here, in the depth I've drilled, set them in, I couldn't go quite to where it bottoms out on the shoulder, which would be ideal. I had to make a bit of a compromise because at that point they would be protruding through the bottom, 1/16 of an inch, maybe 32nd, just enough to rub and screw up my bench, maybe mess with brass, who knows, depending on what it caught on. So I went almost through and stopped, but it's enough. And the way I use it, well, these have done these, I can tell. What I started doing is I flip up the last ones in the rows, and that tells me I haven't done that row yet. So I start a row, I flip the first one up, because, well, let me back up. First thing I do is I expand the necks on these for swage bullets. Use an NOE expander. So I'm starting it out like this. When I flip it here, it tells me, okay, they're not primed. That's the next step, prime it. I get to the end, tells me that row's done. Like right now, say I walk away, I get distracted, or whatever, something happens. I can come back. I go, okay, all these are, I'm on this row. It's one of these, well, this one isn't flipped, so it's going to be that one. Now, say I'd flipped it. Well, it's one of these three. I can quickly narrow it down to 3 possibilities of what's next, which is, quick versus, come on, where is it? And, before I forget, yeah, it's just that simple. And like I said, I know these are not primed, those are not expanded, and when they're all done, then, and they're all primed, powder, well, that's another thing. Then they're all face up, unless you've flip one, like flip the last one, just to say, okay, this row isn't finished. At that point, you got some options, but it really speeds things up for me if I get distracted or pulled away, or whatever, because it's just quick. Okay, I'm on this row. I know that it's just that quick and easy. Well, I'm thinking even like the plastic molded ones. You get a Forstner bit, fits that molded, get that center, and drill a 1/4 inch through, because they're a bit thicker. I think it would even work in those. The wooden ones, chances are they're done with a Forstner bit. The acrylic ones, I don't know. Some of those are CNC'd, and some of them are drilled with a Forstner bit. But yeah, it's something simple, and it has really, really helped me out a lot. Saved me a lot of time. But like 300 Blackout, it's a wide mouth. It doesn't flop like this 9mm. It just depends on the cartridge. So this is the first time I'm actually gonna use the flip up the last one after priming. But as you can see, I know what row. Well, they're all primed now, but where I left off. And since it's the last one, charge them with powder, get to that, obviously it's going to be flipped up. Okay, all these are flipped. I know I stopped there. At least I know I'm looking somewhere in this row if I get distracted or whatever. So I've narrowed it down to 5 cases to look in versus 50. So yeah, like I said, it can save some time and frustration. Word of advice, if you're making your own trays, as far as the 223, use a 10mm Forstner bit, not a 3/8, because 3/8 you end up with this. It's too tight. 10mm drops right in. And you can also use it for a 9mm. Anything that 223 is a parent case, Fortunately, you can't use it for 10mm. Probably need an 11 for that. Getting off track there. All right, well, figured I'd roll that in and give that little piece of advice. All right, have a good one. God bless. See ya.